What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about the importance of proper parenting and how much parents really need to the importance of raising a child. Now, me, I personally don't have kids. I personally don't do that, but I've been around. Well, I came from a family that didn't really teach me anything about life growing up, and also have family members and siblings who never taught me about anything useful growing up too. So if people may say, "Oh, I don't have kids, I don't have a family," who am I to speak? Well, I'm just talking from my own perspective, my own observation, right? So let's get to it. So I feel like a lot of parents, at least from my experiences, I came from parents who never taught me shit growing up. They never taught me how to drive a vehicle. They never taught me the importance of having a social security card. They never taught me how to fix a tire. They never taught me how to fix an engine. They never taught me any type of basic maintenance within having a vehicle or owning a vehicle, right? So me, I'm 26. I finally got my license. I finally got my first vehicle, and I'm having some trouble with it. And I'm doing a lot of research and I'm asking a lot of help on how to do basic maintenance, which the average adult my age should have been knowing. But this is what I'm getting at. It's not just with that. There's a lot of things, but I'm trying to get my point across. So within parents, it does get annoying when you come from a family who never really taught you about jack shit growing up, either because my family's either retarded, they're so unaware, or they're narcissistic, or they just were focused on themselves that they could give two fucks about helping me out, right? Because they don't think, well, either way, that shows how selfish they are. And me, I cut off all my family members. They're very narcissistic, very toxic. They'll do shit, I'll confront them to defend myself, and they'll gaslight, they'll lie. And it resulted in a lot of conflicts and fights, and I distanced myself from them, and I blocked all of them, and I want nothing to do with them. I'd rather be homeless than to move back in with them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thankful. I finally found stability where I have my own place, have my own vehicle, and making stable income, and I could build something for myself without having to deal with their stupidity, right, and their ignorance and their toxicity. And and I feel like a lot of people experience this. A lot of people experience being put into families where their families never really teach them about anything useful growing up. They never teach them how to prepare for the real world. They don't teach people how to at least for me, but I know a lot of people can relate to what I'm experiencing, because I've heard stories and I've seen things. But from my own experience, my family, they never taught me how to manage my money. They never taught me the importance of taxes, or they never taught me how to pay for a mortgage, how to buy my own house, my own home, how what's the process of buying your own home, buying your apartment, how to survive after high school. They never taught me about anything growing up. All the things I've learned is through YouTube and through building connections with people, to where I'm asking questions about people, and where I'm learning a lot of things through the internet. Those are where I'm getting all my information from. This is why I am the way, this is why I'm able to succeed in life and to have a lot of breakthroughs, overcoming setbacks. All these setbacks and most of my trials and errors and roadblocks and setbacks was due to the fact that no one really taught me how to become prepared for the real world. So I do blame my family. People say you shouldn't blame people for your downfall. That's bullshit. I feel like if you came from a family who never really taught you anything growing up, then you have no free will. You have no say so on how to build your life back up. So it makes sense that growing up, I struggled a lot financially. I struggled a lot just everything, basic social skills, how to manage money, how to take care of myself, how to build your self-esteem up. Because my parents and my family, they're just lacking in all those things. And this is where you get your generational curses from. When you're born into a very stupid ass family, they're not right in the head, and they don't know how to build themselves back up. This is why they call it generational curses. This is why you have certain people. This is where you get your black sheeps of the family, your scapegoats, and you use your families who target the scapegoat or the black sheep of the family. The black sheep or the scapegoat, they're the ones with the most potential. They're the ones that are meant for great things, and they have a lot of self-awareness and creativity. So most of these people, they get abused by their family, but once they're able to get away from their families, they're able to become very successful and build things up for themselves. It might be a slow process because all the healing work and all the trauma they have to endure, and they got to overcome. So it might take longer for the average person who wasn't born into these situations out of their control. So, but once they're able to get out of these situations and these roadblocks and these traumatic experiences, and once they're healing themselves, once they're doing the shadow work, they're able to build a successful life for themselves, mentally, spiritually, financially, socially, physically, all that stuff, you know. So yeah, but it gets annoying where like you're born into a family and like they never really taught you anything growing up. People may disagree with this video, but I don't care. If you have the purpose of a family, in my opinion, or one day if I ever have my own family, teach them. You're supposed to help out your family members. You're supposed to be there for them emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, financially, right? You're supposed to help guide them because this world is evil. So this is why a lot of people commit crime. A lot of people get themselves into trouble. A lot of people are just putting themselves in bad situations that they have no business being in. It's because they weren't raised right. Most of the world's problems is due to the fact that people weren't raised right. This is why a lot of people, especially in this generation, they're talking about like abuse, toxicity, narcissism, mental health. A lot of people have mental health issues because they're born into dysfunctional family systems. I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but what I'm saying is a lot of families tend to be very violent, very evil, and they lack empathy. This is why we have a lot of damaged kids out here, and you see a lot of people who are like either overweight or like they have a lot of like health issues because they weren't. These families, they don't know how to raise their kids properly. I'm not saying they're not trying. They probably are doing their best, but they have a lot of. They're not healed. Like, why are people having kids when they're not healed themselves? I understand it's always good to have a kid, and you ain't got to be fully healed because part of this human experience, you can't be fully healed because we live in an evil world. So not only is the parents' fault, but I blame the system because in these school systems, especially, these school systems are useless. They don't teach kids how to build their self-esteem up. They don't teach kids the importance of finances. They don't teach kids how the real world works. They don't teach kids how to like find a career and how to build a trade and how to make money, how to manage money, the importance of utilizing the internet and online information to start your own business or to create something for yourself, to set yourself up for life. Schools don't teach you that. Instead, they teach you outdated information that goes nowhere, and all that was planned out by the government or people in power that controls this world, and their agenda is to harm it a lot of people, right? So it makes sense that these school systems aren't teaching people useful shit. So, you know, because parents, families, they can only do so much because they're slaves for a system, so they could barely see their kids, and they have to rely on these school systems to take care of their kids. But what they fail to realize that most of these school systems, they don't help their kids out as much. You know what I'm saying? They don't. People think they do, but they don't. I remember how school is. School is not a place to learn information. The only thing that's useful about school is building connections because you're around a lot of people, so you're able to have at least a lot of good social skills. But even then, a lot of people have low self-esteem in school because school is such a bad place because they don't teach you useful shit. This is why, like I said, they don't teach you about how to build your self-esteem up. They don't teach you about proper healing work. All this shit I learned, all the people that deserve to be teachers in the education is these YouTubers. And no, I'm not like this video. I'm coming across wrong. I'm saying I'm not talking down the teachers because they're just following the script. They're following the system. It's not their fault. But it's the school systems. It's the agenda of the school system is their fault. People who are behind the scenes who are running the system, they're at fault. It's not the teachers. They're just doing the best they can to survive and do what they got to do. But they just don't realize, or maybe they do realize, but they can't really do anything when they're in a system that's corrupt. You know what I'm saying? All the useful information, I've learned how to make money. I learned how to create my own business. I learned how to drive a car. I learned how useful skills in math and all this other stuff was through YouTube, through the internet. Growing up in school, I hated learning. I hated math. I hated all this. But once I was away from school and I was self-educating myself, I love learning. I love how to do math. I love reading books. I love to read now. I love to learn math. I'm getting a lot better at it. I learned how to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Even in school, I had trouble speaking. I had a lot of stuttering problems. I still do, but ever since I got away from high school, I love speaking. So isn't it funny how like once I got away from school, I love learning? Because school, it's not about learning, it's about passing. You know what I'm saying? So I imagine a lot of kids are put into these families who aren't teaching. These families aren't teaching these kids the basic principles of how to become an adult growing up or how to set themselves up for life. It's not about preparing them to become an adult, but it's preparing them to set themselves up for success throughout life. No, so not only a lot of families struggle to do that, and they don't have the self-awareness to guide their kids in the right direction, but now we have corrupt school systems which is useless, and they're not doing any better to help these kids out and these other generations out. They're not. A lot of people, they're getting the information from the internet. The internet is a double-edged sword. You use it. The internet can be used in a good way and a bad way. This is why there's a lot of things you could learn in the internet that's useful, but there's also a lot of social media and programming that can really damage the average human mind, that can really lower someone's self-esteem, or to cause social anxiety and stuff like that. So it's a double-edged sword. But of course, schools or people's parents or their families, they're not going to teach them how to use the internet properly. They're not. You know what I'm saying? So imagine living in a world where there's so much misguidance. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm getting at. It's because we live in a timeline where like what I've realized, I could be wrong, but what I've realized that like in this realm, there's different timelines. I feel like we're in a timeline to where like we're trying to build everything back up and we're trying to fix all this shit. Unfortunately, we're not in a timeline to where like people have their shit together, which is, I mean, when I say people, I mean this world. We still live in a corrupt world, but in the timeline we're in, we're like in the middle stages of like this timeline. So we're in a stage to where like everything's fucked up and we're trying to build ourselves back up. This is why a lot of people are operating from extremes. This is why you have a lot of narcissists, a lot of narcissistic people. A lot of people are talking about generational curses and dysfunctional families. You have a lot of people talking about healing your mental health, your physical health. People are talking about fasting. This is why time is speeding up, because we're in the middle of what's the word? Well, we're like in purgatory. Like we're in the timeline we're like in the middle stages. This is why everything seems so chaotic. We're not in the lower timeline where like we're fucked. We're like there's a lot of wars, inflation, and collapses going on. We're not in that timeline. That's like the fucking like 1500s, 1800s, and early 1900s. But we're in the 2000s era. So like we're in the middle of like trying to become aware of what's going on, and we're trying to build ourselves back up. Not just with family systems, school systems, this is everything in general. This is why time is speeding up so fast. So like in a timeline, I feel like we're not meant to have it all together, but more so we're meant to build everything back up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it gets annoying though. Like it gets annoying. Like as I'm getting older, it's like, damn man, like what else have my family not taught me? You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to do the best I can to learn information, to ask people, to make friends, to build connections. So like I could learn useful things like on how to buy my own house, how to manage my money, how to fix my own car, how a car works, how to take care of myself, how to heal myself mentally, physically, spiritually, etc. And I'm kind of paranoid because like what else I don't know that I'm supposed to know as an adult, right? And I know a lot of people could relate to this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to be perfect, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. Like I'm not saying you have to be babied or sheltered by your family or by your parents, but what I'm saying is like, goddamn, like at least like teach me. Like I feel like my family at least fucking, they could have taught me how to at least fix a fucking tire, or how to like buy a house, or how to save my money, or how credit works and shit like that. Let alone, I didn't even know what a state ID or a social security card was when I was like fucking 18, 19. I found that out about those things when I was trying to join the military, and I realized I needed those things to get in. So I was telling my parents, hey, you know, I need that shit. I need that shit now. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was helping my brother out. So like, you know, this is bullshit. But what I realized is that like, if you're experiencing the same things I'm experiencing, you're all gonna experience some type of rage and anger, but don't let it affect you. Yes, your parents could have done a better job. Your family could have done a better job. Yes, they were kind of shitty on how they were raising you, and they lack a lot of self-awareness, but don't let it affect you. Just the fact that you have an awareness, you have creativity, and you're aware of what's going on and what you need to work on, and you have access to the internet. And don't forget, there's no rules to living life. There are rules, but there isn't. Like what I'm saying is like you can make as much friends as you want. You can build connections as much as you want. You can do whatever you want. You could do any type of career, whatever you want. The sky is limitless, you know what I'm saying? So you can do whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? So like, don't let people who fail to raise you hold you back from life, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I hope this video is not coming across wrong. I'm just releasing a lot of anger. I'm not saying all things I'm saying is not facts. I'm just speaking from opinion, and I'm just projecting. I'm just releasing a lot of anger. So what I'm saying is all the things that I was forced to be around certain adults, my goal growing up is to be the opposite of what these adults are. I'm not saying these adults weren't perfect. I thought they've done the best they can, but for the most part, they failed to do a lot of healing work, and they failed to do a lot of self-reflection to realize that like they weren't useful pretty much. The only thing they're useful is putting a roof over my head and and food and making me survive. But that's pretty much it. But even then, they're probably doing that for themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because this world is based on survival and shit. Where this is why you gotta work a job to make money to survive and shit, to buy your own house and food and shit like that. So I feel like my parents, they did a poor job, especially my family. They did a very poor job. I feel like I had a disadvantage when it came to family members. At least I got family members, but like they're very dysfunctional, so I don't want to fucking deal with them. But at least I got my brain, I got my mind, I got my imagination, and I got the internet, and I got people to where I could live a successful life. I have the right tools. It's unfortunate I was born into a very unself-aware group of people, right? But that's all I gotta say. But also just know that like I said, if you also experience the same things, release your anger, try to do the healing work, learn about spirituality, learn how to build a car, learn how to become an adult. Like what I was saying, like learn how to manage your money, learn how to buy a house, learn how this world works, learn how this world operates. So once you have a basic, or at least if you have a lot of understanding of how this world works, like how the money system works, how electronics works, like how you could build your own phone, or like how, just learn about useful stuff, learn about useful trades that can help you as an adult. Like learn how to buy a house, learn how to manage your money, learn how to heal yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, learn about fitness, learn about taking care of your body, learn about building your self-esteem up, learn how to buy a car, learn about credits, learn about stocks, learn about savings, learn about investments, learn how to build your online business through your passions, learn how to build a house, learn how to all this stuff, learn about those things, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, once you're able to have that self-awareness and you utilize the tools, your connections with people to the best of your ability, you're gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? It may take a while if you were born into a very dysfunctional family, because you have to do a lot of healing work, but don't let it discourage you, and just know that like everything happens for a reason, in my opinion. Not meant to harm you, but it's meant to better you. You know, so don't get discouraged, and you're meant for great things, especially if you're born around like people who fail to do their job to protect you. If you're born, the more hardships you're put into, that you're exposed to, in my opinion, the more important your soul mission is, and the more you're meant for great things. So don't let petty situations or obstacles and people's bullshit behavior affect you, because that in itself shows that like you're strong enough to overcome those things. And once you get to the other side, you're gonna become very successful, and you're able to help other people along the way. So don't let it affect you. You know what I'm saying? And this doesn't have to apply to like family or like to school. It can apply to like your mental health, your nervous system, your body, because we all experience blockages. You know what I'm saying? So these blockages, they aren't gonna last forever. You know, you have the willpower, you have the hearts, and you have the energy to overcome these things, and you will get through it. And once you get to the other side, the sky is the limit. Like you could do whatever you want, and you're meant for great things, and you best believe you're gonna help other people out along the process, and it's gonna make life extremely worth it. I know it sucks now, and it's about to bullet, and there is a beauty in the struggle. There is a beauty in the struggle. If people view struggle or like the process of working hard as a bad thing, it's a beautiful thing. It what makes life worth it. Life is about working hard and struggling and fighting for what you believe in, fighting to get success. That's what life is all about. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to enjoy the process. Yes, it's good to get results, but like there's a saying, in order for you to get what you want, you have to become you're supposed to become the person. You're supposed to become the person who's able to attain those things. This is why when success, people say you have to be in the right alignment, or you have to. It's all about divine timing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to become the person who's able to get and to attain those things. So if you feel like your results aren't getting, if you're not getting results as much, just know that it's life testing you. And when I say life testing you, it's like it's not life trying to fuck with you. It's like life trying to like make you have a lot of experiences with like different types of people and different types of life situations. So once you get to the other side, you know what to do with success, and you're able to more handle it, and you're able to handle it a lot better, versus you're just given those opportunities and those results and all the success thrown at your way. You don't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm kind of in a rush. But have a good one, and good luck to you, and don't give up. Peace.